Hello everyone, it's me, Robert, the man himself. Now, it's been a while since I've done a Cataclysm episode, so might as well get back into the swing of things, right? Alright, here we go. Starts off at the TV base. We see the TV captain talking to Shadow Tvman and TV woman, since, well, they're pretty much the two higher rankings in the TV side of the Alliance. And since Scientist was too busy working on stuff, I can't say anything. And the reason why he brought them in was to talk about a certain issue that had been plaguing them for a bit. Because, well, ever since the projectors moved in, they've been giving a lot of resources into them, but not really much has come back from that, and especially their Titan, which is eating up resources and is almost done. So they're basically planning to evict the projectors the moment that their Titan is ready. And then try focusing on upgrading their Titan, because he hasn't gotten his Mark II upgrade yet. And it's to the extent with how much resource they've been dropping into this that they might have to do a redo of Titan Cinemaman and ask for parts. Especially considering the fact that with the new faction and all, things are desperate. And so, he just wanted to know their opinions, see what points they could make with this. They asked for possibly a better solution. And I know, it might seem a little out of character for Shadow Tvman, since, you know, he's a bit of a... If you were to imagine a character that'd be a jerk by nature, he's probably the one that you'd think of immediately. But in my eyes, he's just a prick. Well, a prick with good intentions. That's all I'll say. So, they bring up the idea of a possible better solution, like, for instance, expanding the base. You know, they've got quite a few abandoned sectors in the underground portions they could just lend to them. And to that, TV Captain isn't exactly the happiest. So he calls a meeting there. Two of them just walking out. Meanwhile, over in the camera base, because, well, the camera and speaker sides of the Alliance have decided to convene in one spot to good old do some discussion, especially involving their leadership, when it comes to the new Astro threat. And then they hear a noise outside. And it turns out that the Sub-Alliance and its elites have finally arrived. They've been flying for a bit. And then they hear a sound. Now, these two elites, these radio and projector, they know what's coming, so they just step to the side. Meanwhile, he's clueless. But seeing as this has happened way too many times, pushed over, and yep, elite drone just got picked up by Droneman. It's basically spun in the air a bit. Which, as a small fun fact, Dronewoman kind of sees Assassin Droneman as sort of a younger brother in a way. Yeah, they have their brief little reunion. They get put down. Now, meanwhile, in the Astro base, turns out that Toilet didn't get immediately executed. How lucky. And Commissar goes off to sort something out, leaving Duchess in charge of watching over him. Now immediately G12 goes trying to talk, maybe try shifting out a bit, but yeah, they didn't happen. And meanwhile, in another part of the base, we finally see the counter again, getting some tune-ups. With Detainer just sort of acting as a more or less hype man, using that good old beam to mimic projectors. That's right. Astro's got hold on projector tech now. We're fucked. Getting Encounter all riled up before shutting off the projection. Getting Counter all raged and riled up for when he finally does encounter them again. Meanwhile, this Alliance Titans, and we see that Titan Radioman is trying to catch a signal. Meanwhile, Titan Droneman is kind of on guard. Now Titan Droneman hears a sound nearby and, not wanting to risk possible damage or interference with the signal, goes off to immediately stop the threat before it arrives. After a bit of time, that turns out to go pretty well. And so he starts heading back. But Titan Radioman seems oddly silent. Right up until I should have prepared this better. And turns out he got infected. Immediately, Titan Roman just goes, "I'm out of here," because Titan Radioman starts charging up something. And luckily, just as Titan Droneman gets out of range, well, not luckily for these guys, sends out a powerful wave, which causes everybody to just sort of die. That's right, we're not asking logic here, we're just going, they died. Ignore that, that is one that works, so the G-Tool starts moving a little, and suddenly, without much warning, he got a big old boost, tearing himself from his little prison and darting away. Commissar arrives back in, and, well,
Deluxe, why did I make him look so goofy? He looks all derpy.
Caviox, I tried to...
Try to what? Free the traitor? I have no idea why the mothership chose you as an elite. Maybe because you just got Max Charleston's good side and you put in the good word. You useless waste of...
Enough.
Oxytros! Good to...
Don't give me that crap, Caviox. I can hear you from outside. Probably the same for the lower ranks. Wouldn't want the subordinates believing there's dissension in our ranks, especially during wartime. Would we?
No.
Then silence. And so Max Charles flies off, aka Assailant, and Caviox, aka Commissar, does the same. Meanwhile, at the TV base, a small asteroid appears. But turns out they arrived just a little too late, cause boom. Upgrade Projector Titan, after all this time. Now immediately, he opens with the flashbang, which manages to get 2 of them, but not so much with the others. So he tries using the laser, that doesn't quite work out as intended, and the Destructor shoots some good old energy balls towards him. That's right, some energy balls, which end up getting caught and transferred before being shot back out. Oh, not sure why that happened. Breaching through the shield and kaboom. Now they wander off. Meanwhile, elsewhere, within an old, abandoned base, we see the war boss Cameraman conversing with the Tri-Titan. And that's where we end this Cataclysm episode. Well, I hope you had a nice one. Stay classy.